too late to start a drone business in 2020? The answer is... Hi, I'm Taylor Mitchum and welcome to Dronero, the channel that helps you grow your income as a drone pilot. If that's something you're interested in, please consider subscribing and smashing the like button to help my videos reach more people. Is it too late to start a drone business in 2020? The answer is absolutely not. And I'm saying that because the way the drone industry now is completely different than it was 5 years ago when I got started. I got started flying drones in 2015 and it has evolved so much. 2016, we saw the Part 107, and from there we've seen different rule changes and things. So there are still plenty of opportunities today and in the future. So if I was starting from scratch in 2020 and I was starting from scratch, like I didn't know anything about drones, like I didn't know anything when I started 5 years ago, what would I do? I would try to educate myself as much as I could on the different verticals that, one, I was interested in, and two, that are available in a relatively close vicinity to myself. What I mean by that is if you live in Nevada, for example, or you live somewhere out west, maybe Arizona, someplace like that, it would make sense for you to look into the mining vertical as a possible, place for you to start. Possible. It doesn't have to be where you start, but just possible. Versus somebody who lives in Maine where there's not a whole lot of that there. Or Kansas. Not a whole lot of that there. Or I wouldn't want to do beach photography work and I live in Minnesota. Well, I guess there are beaches in Minnesota. There's a few. So I've heard. But versus living in Florida, I live in Florida, so it would totally make sense for me to do tourism and that type of work. So take a big view of where you are in the world, or in the US, or wherever it is that you live, and look at what's around you. Are there a lot of new construction projects happening? Are there a lot of critical infrastructure projects? So do you live in a place where there's a lot of oil and gas infrastructure? Or a place where there's transmission lines and power lines everywhere. But is there a headquarters of that company near you? Or that you can get into contact with? Lots of different options out there. Is real estate booming where you live? Is national parks and wildlife, do they have a lot of issues? For example, in Texas, and I know in other southern states in that general south central area, they do hog control, where they have pilots fly out and track the number of hogs and kind of herd them into areas away from other people. Cool work. I've never done it myself, but it's cool. Also, keep in mind that you can travel. Like, I'm traveling right now. I'm in Illinois right now, doing critical infrastructure work. So that could be a potential opportunity too, but of course, traveling costs money, so you have to think about that when you're budgeting your business and creating your business plan and all of that stuff. But I'm saying all this to say that it is definitely 100% not too late to start your drone business in 2020. Definitely not. And if anyone's discouraging you from doing it, well, it being 2020 is not an excuse. You missing the boat is not an excuse, because the boats that you're supposed to be on may not even be built yet for you to miss. It may still be at the port. So you haven't missed it yet if it's at the port, or if it's at the manufacturing facility still being made. I think you know what I mean, though, by that analogy. So no, it's not too late to start a drone business in 2020. And like I said, I would start by educating myself. Second thing I would do is get a drone, any drone, and start flying, even if it's a toy. Even if it's a $20 Hubsan X4, which is a drone that I use for training and to keep my stick skills sharp. Because if you can fly that thing, you can fly anything. Real talk. Or learn to fly anything relatively quickly. And then I would go out and get my 107 and start getting whatever jobs I could, even if it's real estate, even if it's in a vertical I don't necessarily want to be in. Whatever kind of jobs I could get, that's what I would do. And of course, I would concentrate on the vertical that I want to be in, but I would start with what I could. Start putting your name out there. Start flying as much as you could. Start getting some samples together. Start practicing, because getting a good photo or a good video isn't a matter of I just take off the drone and hit record and go. You have to know what you're doing to a certain degree. You have to be able to fly in certain weather conditions, mostly wind. especially if you're going to be doing wind tower inspections. Those places tend to be windy. But keeping that in mind, that you need to be a proficient pilot first and foremost before you even think about starting a business. So keep that in mind. It's definitely not too late in 2020. As somebody who's been doing this for a while, it's not too late. There are plenty of opportunities out there. There's still, like I said, inspections. Things need to be inspected all the time. There's real estate that still needs to be photographed, events, storm response, hurricane work. There's all kinds of stuff, cinematography. I mean, the list goes on. Anywhere where there's a camera or a sensor that needs to be taken through the air, drones can help with that. So I hope this video serves more as an inspiration and helps you realize that there are opportunities in 2020 and beyond. And if this is something that you want to get into, let me know in the comments below and ask any questions that you have. I'm here to help. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you smash that thumbs up button, the like button, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the videos that I put out every single week to help you grow your income as a drone pilot. I'm Taylor Mitchum, this is Dronero, and I'll see you in the next video. Fly safe!